What up? Recap to the week, man. This is my close to the week. Coming home. I don't have to worry about getting fucking loaded tonight. Ugh. Man, I'm telling you. I don't know how many times I was driving home praying that I would not get loaded. And within like fucking an hour, I was fucking loaded, man. On my weekend. And all I can think about is like, at that point, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do about fucking Tuesday. You know? Or look, I'm killing it at work. I'm having, I'm about to go to the house, not an Oxford house, not a sober living house, to see the kids, to log on to a meeting, support another addict who needs help, be of service. Then I'm going to log on to another one and support an addict who is fucking sharing a meeting. I just want to go home and fucking do nothing, dude. It's been a grind. These last fucking couple of days, man, I've stayed super late. One day I worked from 8:20 to 10:30. The next day I worked from fucking 11 to fucking 10:30. You know what I mean? 11 to 10. Not to overplay my shit. But yeah, and then stayed up late to help an addict in recovery. Because that's what we do. I felt like for so long I was doing this shit alone. And I wasn't, when I say doing it alone, I get loaded in the fucking, try to get myself better by myself. And don't get me wrong, like there was some stuff that I was doing that helped. Watching stuff, there was some stuff I was doing that helped. Praying. I didn't lose connection with all that. But I wasn't not getting loaded. It just feels really good to fucking have an exhausting week, and I'm exhausted from fucking grinding at work, grinding at home. Because my day is fucking just a lot, man. I got a lot going on, like you do. Like everybody watching this shit, y'all got a lot going on. Adding that to it, man, it's just like fucking, I don't know what the fuck. So it feels good to have a good end of the week. I wanted to get a couple, I did. And, yeah, man. I'm really, really lucky. Very lucky. And then Sunday I get to, be there for my sponsor. And so I'm really happy. And yeah, man. So, today started with me getting up early before work. I had an 8:30 meeting this morning, as I do every Saturday. And I got up early enough to go to the gym before that. It felt good to wake up at fucking 5:40. It was cool. Like I woke up at 5:30, hit the snooze, and 5:40 hit. And I sat up and I thought, well, I'm just gonna go back to sleep. And then something in my head said, no, you're fucking not. Get your fucking ass up. And no excuses popped in my head. I just got up, got my shit ready, went to the fucking gym, busted out a good workout, prepped myself to get into work, sore from the day before going to the gym, and fucking did what I had to do at work. And normally, the last couple of years, man, I'm so fucking done and exhausted. And I can remember like time, week and week again, like just week after week, I'd be like, man, I didn't get much sleep all week, and now I'm gonna go do this. Now I'm gonna go fucking get fucking loaded and get no sleep, just so I could be that exhausted on my day on. Not refreshed, no good weekend. I'm already knowing what the fuck's cracking. And just, beat on myself for about 3 days into my work week. just exhausted. You know, that day 2 for me was fucking so brutal, so tired. I just want to go sleep in the car. I'm like pounding another fucking 5-hour energy and then grabbing a Red Bull. When I say another, I was drinking 3 5-hour energies and 2 Red Bulls Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. By Saturday, I'm drinking the same shit every day for, you know, we'll just say 2 years straight. And, you know, the crazy thing about it, because let's not talk about how expensive that is. You know, like that shit is not cheap every day. You might as well be a drug habit. You know, what it did to my body, what it did to my mind. And that's just that. We're not even talking about the other shit, you know. The clarity I have in my mind right now is just amazing. How I think on my feet, you know, it's almost like because I don't have that going on, everything else is so much more manageable. I'm not gonna say, I almost said easier, like as this shit's fucking easy. It's not, you know, but I don't have to contemplate if I'm gonna go to church on Sunday. I used to do that all the time. Yeah, I'm gonna go to church and not go. Like there'd be no way after that Saturday that I'd fucking sit in there and walk into church. Yeah, I tried it a couple times and fucking, I just felt like they were talking about me and nobody wanted to be around me. And now I just walk in regardless. And I know that, like, I don't, you know, I don't feel that way. It feels really good. For anybody who's like fresh trying to figure it out, it does start feeling better. It might not get better for you. You know, people always say it's going to get better. Everybody's case is different. It's case by case. For me, it did, but that doesn't mean it's going to for you at first. It will get different. You won't feel like you've been feeling. You know, if you know how you're going to feel the weekend and you know it's going to be a fucking shit show, I can tell you that it's not going to feel like that anymore. All the other shit's going to be a shit show. Like if you've watched any of these videos, you know it's been a shit show. And I'm getting to that point where it's like, I'm breathing. I don't have to use a spiritual principle to get quite through a day right now. And, you know, I'm sitting on a little over 6 months. You know, more will be revealed. There's going to be situations that are going to happen. I mean, this last week was fucking, if you just go back a couple of videos, you'll know. And today, I you know, after talking about it, sharing about it, talking to another recovery, you know, support system about it, all that, getting it all out, not giving it power, and then, you know, also doing well at work, it does feel really fucking good. And the problems that I have right now, currently, they just feel manageable. They're a lot, but they feel manageable. Maybe because I've been just dealing with it for so much that I know how to handle it, at least mentally. Like, I know I'm not going to fucking worry so much about it because I just keep beating in myself that worry is the absence of prayer. So, you know, it'll be nice to get to a point where I'm like, and who knows if I'll ever get to that point, like, fuck, I need a problem so I can start working through it. You know? Instead of like 50,000 fucking problems I gotta work through, and then I gotta like say, okay, I'm gonna put all these to the side here, I'm gonna work through this, and then just keep grabbing them as I work through them. Not even complete them, just fucking work through them. You know, like, okay, I'm gonna not stress on that, I'm gonna pray about this, move it over and grab this fucker. Like, oh my God. You know? And now I can compartmentalize my problems, my challenges, you know. Maybe start turning the words into challenges instead of problems. None of them are really problems. They're all just challenges. You know, a problem sounds like something I can't handle. A challenge sounds like something I'll be able to handle. I just got to figure out what technique I'm going to use to handle it. Is it going to be mental? Is it going to be physical? You know, very, very lucky to have tools to be able to do that. And if you're trying to figure out what to do, You just keep showing up to these meetings and stuff, and I promise you'll start getting tools to figure them out. You know, you'll be so afraid of like, fuck, man, I don't know what's gonna happen with my job, and you'll bust out that faith and prayer tool, because you're not fired yet, or you're not let go yet, or you haven't like got the promotion yet, or you did not get told that you're not getting it yet. You know, yet. How am I going to not get loaded? You know, like just every single one of these, there's a tool for it, and I learn them. You know, in recovery, I learn them by trying them out. You know, like you don't know how to use a screwdriver until you use it enough, and then now you're like, well, this right here, I can't use a screwdriver for this thing. I need a fucking hammer. You know, but I don't know how to use the hammer, so I'll just fucking hit away at it. And eventually you know you're skilled at it. And then you're like, wait, I can't use a hammer for this. I need a fucking saw. You know, and you start learning how to use the tools. The tools are given to you. That doesn't mean fucking shit, man. Until you know how to properly grip them and properly use them. You don't use a fucking saw like you would a tool, or like you would a fucking hammer. You don't. And you don't use a hammer like you do a screwdriver. There are multiple screwdrivers to each application. You know, you start obtaining these things. Everybody, you know, what happens is you go into these things and then they hand you a whole bag of them and shit. And you're like, well, I got all the tools, so everything should work out. It doesn't work that way. You know, you get skilled in these things and you don't master them. Because all of a sudden you need a screwdriver for a strip screw, and you're like, well, fuck, man. Now what? Can't use a hammer, needs a screwdriver. What do I do here? You know, but through your experiences, you find out that like, oh, that requires a drill with one of these fucking drill bits that pull the screw out. You know, so I have that over here. I just didn't know that's what it was for. And that's just, you know, with what I've got going on, I have to apply all my situations like that. You know, and none of this stuff is just you sit down and say, okay, God, take care of it. You know, some of the stuff you've got to fucking put that elbow grease into it. But you first ask God, like, oh, I need help with the elbow grease. And God gives you the strength that you didn't have. Now, I don't know how many times I prayed to borrow God's strength and made it through a day. Now, I didn't make it through the day the way I wanted to make it through. But when I look back now, I realize, oh yeah, wait, hold on. I did make it through the day. It's just terrible, but I made it through the day. And I didn't get fired, or I didn't get fucking, you know what I mean? I made it through those days. They just were brutal, you know? And I think it was just long enough for me to be like, okay, I can't take it anymore. That's when that gift of desperation comes in. Hopefully it's not where you've lost your house, your kids, your cars, and everything. Yeah, man. I feel pretty fucking good today. It's crazy to say that because I'm really fucking stressed. Finding serenity in the chaos. You know, it's not the absence of chaos, although the definition of serenity is the absence of chaos. Finding serenity in the chaos, right? How do we do that? Some of us don't get an opportunity to just start over with a blank fucking slate. Some of us have kids that we have to go back to. We get to go back to, sorry. In a house that's fucked over, and you get to go back to it. You're like, fuck, man. And then you realize, well, shit, man. You know? I don't have to be at a certain place at 10. I actually have this. So, yeah, man, the journey continues. The process is still ongoing. The beatdowns will remain until morale is improved. It's funny, you know, somebody said that to me the other day, and we were joking about the past. right here. The beatdowns will remain until morale is improved. Improve the morale. The beatdowns will fucking go away. You pick up, man, the beatdowns continue. Morale's fucked. You know, you stay clean a day and maybe you worked a step, or maybe you went into a fucking meeting. Maybe you shared that you fucking didn't really like how that person talked to you. Instead of holding it in, well, fuck them, I'm getting loaded because of that. I'll show them. You know what I mean? How many times I get loaded to fucking show somebody else? Fuck him. I'll show him. I'll get fucking loaded. You know, people don't really fucking hold on to your shit. Not like I thought they did. See how I said not like I thought they did? I thought people holding on my shit all day long. Man, they're sitting at home eating a fucking muffin, bro. You're sitting over here tripping on it. That shit. They forgot 5 minutes after that whole shit went down. And then, like, you know, months later, you walk over to them because you've been dealing with it for months. And you're like, hey, man, I want to talk about that thing. They're like, what thing? What the fuck thing are you talking about? I don't even remember saying that, dude. Oh, man, I'm sorry that fucking affected you that way. They were just fucking around. You've been holding on to it for months because you didn't share about it in a meeting and let it go. And then maybe the next day went in and said, hey, man, that bothered me while it was still fresh. So, you know, that's a tool to unload it so you're not holding this resentment. Now you're just back to angry. And you're only angry because you're sad or you're hurt. And I caught myself the other day, hurt, sad, and then I was like, wait, I'm starting to get mad. That's because I don't want to feel sad. You know, anger is a secondary emotion. It's a secondary feeling. It's not the first one. I don't just like all of a sudden get mad. It's because I'm, you know, something happened and I'm hurt. I'll give you an example. The kids get shit everywhere. Now I'm upset. But it's really because I'm sad about the place not being where I want it to be. Because if the place was dialed and that happened, I wouldn't get as mad. And it might even be stemmed back to some argument I had with somebody. Or even what happened during the day. Maybe I didn't even sell a car and everybody else did. That's why I'm really mad here. But I'm saying no, it's a justifiable anger because of the fact that the fucking cereal's everywhere. Bullshit, man. It's deeper. You just gotta dig. You don't get to dig while you're in a fucking emotion that's heavy. So you gotta let it out. Share it. Hear yourself talk about the cereal. Realize, yeah, it's not really fucking that big. You know, and they got to see that part of me too. Which I said I wouldn't let them see anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, how long do you want to hold on to that fucking sledgehammer? You know what I mean? How long do you want to hold on to that sword? Swing it away and shit. Oh, I needed to go. I got to go back. I get to go back. So, yeah, man, I mean, all I'm saying is I'm learning this stuff. And I'm applying it, and it's working out for me. So, you know, you're wondering what to do next. It's always the next right thing. But dig, find out, like, man, I don't want to get loaded anymore. Well, I know that there are these meetings. Maybe I'll Google that shit. Oh yeah, there's one here at fucking, you know, on a Zoom, or there's one here at fucking 7 o'clock in my area. Okay, I'm gonna walk into it. Now I'm gonna share my problem, you know, and I'm gonna have courage and say, this is me, and this is what I've got, and I don't know what I'm doing. That's a great start. That's a wonderful start. You don't have to necessarily just walk into your work and just say, I'm fucked. You could go into that place. I had to. It doesn't mean you have to. I know somebody who didn't go into treatment and they're fucking fighting for their life. You know? They were able to obtain, 40 days without going into treatment. So all I'm saying is, like, can be done. It's not a question of how bad you want it. I think you want it bad enough. I know I did. It wasn't like I don't want it bad enough. Everybody that doesn't understand, it's like he just doesn't want it bad enough. He just doesn't want to give a fuck about his kids. Are you kidding me? It's the reason I feel like shit about this whole thing. It's about massive action and just fucking doing it. And then you just keep doing it. You keep doing it. And you make those changes, those people, places, and things changes. Anyways, this is 20 minutes, 5 minutes longer than I wanted. So, got this. You got this.